I just got back from a field exploration, exploring plants and animals. And I'm glad to take you through another session of evolution. As you all know, we've been talking about evolution in a series, and today we're looking at evolution part 3. And this is the concluding series of the topic evolution. And what am I looking at today? We're looking at competition in seedlings and also the evolution of man. Now, I'm talking about competition in seedlings as an evolution. Now, over time, plants have evolved with time. They've evolved in their body parts, the leaves, the roots, the stems, and every other part that makes up a plant. But today's lesson is focused on how can seedlings survive in a crowded condition. So if you plant quite a lot of seeds, like let's say 10 seeds of beans or maize in one spot, all of them germinate and grow at the same time, and they have to compete for space. They have to compete for water, for nutrient, for warmth, and for sunlight. Now, among these seedlings, if any one of them cannot get enough of this supply of nutrients or plant requirements, that particular plant or seedling might eventually die. So in that case, evolution in their body parts have also taken place, and there's a natural selection. What is the natural selection there? In this case, the seedlings that are not able to get enough of the supply of these natural resources or requirement of plants eventually dies out. And that's one of the rules of natural selection as propounded by Charles Darwin in his theory of evolution and natural selection. So in a crowded condition where you have a lot of seedlings, there's competition for space, for water, for air, and other requirements. And the ones that are not able to get these requirements will eventually die out. Now, talking about the evolution of man. Now, man started as a primitive man. We also call him the cave man. And during the cave time, man was a wanderer. He wandered through the woods, as you can see in this environment. He was a wanderer. He feeds on fruits and other raw foods. He does not process his food at that stage. Man was not so intelligent. Man was just a wanderer. And in this case, it now got to a time where man continued to evolve and change with time. And man's evolution took place in 3 stages for this level. We have the Australopithecus stage, we have the Homo erectus stage, and the Sapiens sapiens stage. Now, what I explained earlier as man being a wanderer and a caveman was the characteristics of the Australopithecus stage of man's evolution. Man was naked, man ate his fruits raw, man was a wanderer who wandered around the woods and around the environment, and man's thinking was not so refined. So man lived in a primitive way in this stage. Then moving on to the Homo erectus stage, that was when man began to evolve in terms of intelligence, in terms of how he processes his food, and man could stand erect at this stage. That's why he was called Homo erectus, from the word erect. He couldn't stand erect at the Australopithecus stage. So in this stage, man started thinking of ways he can kill animals by making spears, by using flints or sharp stones to produce fire, to cook or prepare his food, and he also ate more fruit at this stage. Then lastly, the sapien is also known as the modern man. So man over time continued to change in his behavior, in his structure, and in his function. And in this stage, man became highly intelligent. Man started thinking of making other sophisticated weapons like knives, like machetes, like cutlasses, and other tools he used to process his foods, he used in farming, and he used in making a living from the environment by exploring plants and animals. So we are currently in the sapiens stage of human development, and evolution as we speak continues to go on and on from one generation to another. Charles Darwin said in his theory that evolution continues even till today because it's an ongoing process that happens with time. So we are the modern humans, and we are currently in the 21st century and still counting. What are we looking at now? We are in the digital age. It's an age where we use a lot of digital devices. We use a lot of speed internet. We use a lot of sophisticated machines, a lot of sophisticated automobiles, and other means of livelihood. So over time, the environment has helped us to explore it, and we've made the best use of it And today we are the sapien, the modern man. Thank you for viewing. I wanted to do more exploration on the evolution of man and compare him to other primates that lived in the earlier period, like the tarsiers, like the lemurs, like the chimps, like the gorillas, like the monkeys, and so on. But guess what? We are not chimpanzees per se, or apes as it was propounded. We all had a common descent. And what is our common descent? We are all members of the animal kingdom of the class Mammalia. Thank you for viewing. It's bye from Mr. Alan. See you in my next class.